Alright, what's going on YouTube? I'm going to show you the train horns that I installed this week. Yeah, it's been a whole daggone week. Usually it ain't supposed to take that long, but when you have to order stuff and buy stuff and get everything that you need to hook things up with, it takes a while. But anyway, there's the pump. I put a, I believe it's a 5/16 fuel line hose for an air hose. All the way up underneath the carpet, up to the firewall, and all the way to the train horns. And there's the train horns right there. I've had a couple of issues when I mounted this thing. Tried it out the first day after getting everything mounted, and the horns worked, and then all of a sudden, click, 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 nothing worked. I'm putting a positive wire up here and it's still not doing anything. Well, I could hear the solenoid kicking on. It was kicking on and everything else. Getting a little warm, and so I looked around on YouTube, and there was a guy on there that was saying pull off the solenoid, and I pulled the cap off, and sure enough, there was rust in there. Pulled a little grommet piece that sits off in there, and I took some WD-40 and lubricated the crap out of it, stuck it back together. Now they work flawlessly. Some people in the reviews were saying they've been having a lot of trouble out of the air horns and the compressor. I don't know if they hooked the compressor up wrong, or I don't know. It could, a lot of this stuff could be user error. Who knows? You never know what people do. But I'm sure the ones that are having issues out of these type train horns, like I said, this whole setup was $100, and that's not even including everything else that I spent. But I'm guarantee if they would have pulled this thing off, cleaned it, and lubricated a little bushing piece that was in here, I'm sure they probably, oh shoot, air horns work flawless. So it just needs a little cleaning time to time. It was dry as a bone. But I put some connectors down on my positive and my negative, and I use these little connectors here, female and male. So that way it's just now a plug and play system. I don't have to cut, don't have to splice, don't have to do nothing. Just pull it apart, pull the air horns out, clean them when time needs to, you know, come around to do it. Put it back on, plug it back in, good to go. Got everything in a wire loom. Here's my ground wire. I've got my air hose. It's hooked at the bottom. You can kind of see it down there. Got all my wires ran back there on the back firewall, and the hose ran down and right into that little grommet piece down there by the steering shaft. And same with my amp wire and all that stuff. It's all routed the same way. But had to get a relay off of Amazon as well. I had to get an inline fuse, and actually two of them, by the way. That one there is for the relay. That one there is for the pump. All this here is actually for the pump. I did not use the kit as a 16 gauge wire. The wires coming off the pump is actually 10 and 12 gauge, so that's what I ran all the way through and through. I wasn't about to go big to small. I had to buy connectors and stuff, and which I've already had the heat shrink already, so I had most of the stuff already. But you can see the come on, but you can see the ground wire back there, and it's also heat shrinked as well with wire loom. Ran up underneath there, ran underneath the carpet. So everything is routed like it's supposed to be. Tucked up underneath the dash, kind of nice and neat. All my wires tapped into the ignition, so if you ever want to know where your ignition wire is when you turn the key on, it's going to be this gray and yellow wire. So that's what I tapped into for the pump. And got all my wires and stuff kind of tucked back in there for the horn button. And when you close that, you can't see it. Pull it down. So I got all that tucked away all nice and neat. And when you turn the key to the on position, it kicks off at 120 psi. So like I said, I bought the whole system around $100 off of Amazon. I'll post the link down in the description below. I'll also post the relay and stuff in the description below and stuff like that. So if you're interested, you can buy one yourself. They do have better ones, of course, for better money. But if you're like me and just don't want to spend the extra money, then I'm sure these will probably do just as fine. Like I said, now you'll have to buy wire. You'll have to buy your loom, your relay, your fuses, all that good stuff. Takes a little bit of work. Like I said, it took me about a week to get all this stuff installed. Just because I'm a little bit more finicky and picky about where all my wires and stuff's supposed to go. So trying to keep everything all nice and clean out of the way. Originally, I was going to take the horns and mount them down here. That's the reason why I've got my grill and stuff out. But the horns were too big to fit down here, and I wasn't about to modify anything. So I was like, well, there's a nice little cubby hole. So I fit the horns down in there. I was like, man, those things fit in there really nice. So that's what I done. I zip tied it. Now it does come with a little mounting bracket, but I'm not about to drill no holes in the fender or anything like that, just to mount those air horns. So I just got it zip tied for now. So, but it works out great. Hood closes, all clearance and stuff, so it don't affect nothing. So like I say, it works great. Like I said, they ran right through the firewall. You can see some of it down there, and then the wire going to the pump, going to the relay and the fuses and stuff. So it's actually really nice. Kind of keeping everything clean. But like I said, it's a small horn, or a small air pump. It's almost 13 inches long. So it's just small enough to fit right there in that little cubby hole. I thought they was going to be a little bit bigger, but no, they're not. Because I was going to mount them underneath the bed, but I'm glad I didn't. I'm glad I mounted them right here in the cab, so I didn't have to run as long and didn't have to run as much wire. So it helped save me a little bit there. But I'll just get everything put back together and everything else. And like I said, and then the horn button, also bought it off Amazon as well, which I mentioned in my last video. And I did link it in the description on the other video if you're curious. But I've got those to turn on and off with the headlights. So, and I know some people are probably curious about that. I did make a video tonight on that and hooking it up and stuff. After running into a few little mishaps too on that one, then at the end of the video, actually got the horn back working for the switch. So yeah. Like I said, it's been kind of a work, non-work situation, but hopefully now I've got all the kinks and stuff worked out now, so hopefully shouldn't have any more issues out of it. And I still have the Firebird. It's still going. Heck, I think I drive the car more than I do my truck. I don't know, I just enjoy driving the car a lot. Got it washed up and cleaned up yesterday. It's getting rough, more rough as the days go on. It's due for a paint job, and I'm really hoping to, I don't know when that's ever going to be, but it needs it bad. I'm hoping to get around to doing it eventually, but still looks good. So I took the seat covers off yesterday too. I just ain't put them back in, but I need to get around to making some more YouTube videos on this too, of that high beam switch, because I still ain't even been underneath there to fix that yet. Really haven't had time working on everybody else's crap. So, but anyway, it's car's still here for sure. But still looking good. The wheels are still looking good after sanding the crap out of those and polished them a couple years ago. I need to go back and get some white diamond and re-polish them up. They're kind of getting a little bit dingy. I mean, they're still shiny, they're just getting a little dingy. But I've got new window sweeps in the house. I just ain't put them in yet. Kind of trying to hold off on putting new window sweeps in, because I really do want to get this thing repainted sometime. Just everything else coming up, so money's going elsewhere and not where it's supposed to be going. So, but that's what happens. But like I said, you know, car's still looking good. I'm gonna And I still had the headlights that I installed a couple years ago. They're still working great. They're still bright. Like I said, I just got to get the high beams and stuff fixed. And like I said, it's that little switch up underneath the dash, but hopefully eventually I'll get around and making a YouTube video on that. 'Cause like I said, I know people's been asking me about it, and so hopefully I'll get around to getting that situated. Now that I've got a garage now, that I'll pull that thing in here and get the dash taken down and go up underneath there and show y'all what y'all need to do if y'all ain't figured it out yet. But anyway, guys, I'm gonna hop off here. But I just kind of wanted to show you the train horn setup and everything, and show you that I still got the Firebird. Anyway, guys, I will talk to y'all later and see you all in the next video.